Obviously, you want a good start, and you come out, and everybody's kind of clicking. What did that do to kind of settle in and set a tone?
Well, I think we did come out. I thought our defense was pretty solid to start, and I thought that was just really key because it's it was interesting to go into this game without Hannah, right? And it's one of these games. Every game is important. Everybody wanted to talk about the big matchup on Sunday and then the game stretching and all that, but. You got Journey Hurston getting her first start. Tegan Mullaney backed her up because we needed just a little bit more rotation, especially when they went with a guard at that 4 position. So we were playing a lot of people extended minutes. Layla got a little bit more minutes tonight because that was a post player that she could, I thought she could really pound with them. So it was a lot of kids playing a lot of different minutes with the team that played so hard. And, till the end, right? They were full court pressing, and that isn't a strong suit of our youth that was in there the whole time. So I just thought the first half was really good. I thought we got sloppy near the end of the first half, and that carried over into kind of why I think our second half was a little slodgy, is we just got a little loose with the ball. But I'm grateful and thankful we got the win, and now, depending on what Hannah is, at least we got one underneath our belt, before we have this big matchup at home on Sunday.
I guess we'll go there next. Just some friendly fire on a unfortunate O-board crash. Sound like Hannah had a chance to play. Just kind of where is she at right now?
Yeah, I haven't really talked to her after the game. I know, we all say it's day to day, but it literally is. We just got to see how it feels to, when she gets up tomorrow, and I'm hopeful that it'll feel better. But right now it just isn't. It isn't at a place where she or we felt comfortable.
You go to Journey, and everything that she's done this year kind of builds up to this moment where she, is having a lot of key buckets on the stretch in the fourth quarter. Just what about her composure and everything? Handling this?
I thought she did a great job with the start. I really did. The glaring thing is, she hasn't been in a situation where she's had to handle that full court pressure, and everybody was a little bit off it in their cuts. And even though we'd worked on it, it's something about the lights, right? And we had a lot of youth in there. Everybody was just a little bit off in their positions, and Chat arguably didn't have her game tonight. I think if Chat had been even halfway, I think normal performance, she was a little quiet. She didn't demand the ball in the presser. So I thought, just despite Ava really being the one that was really a constant on top of her game, I thought our young kids really did well. I thought Addie Deal had a really nice, solid game. I thought Journey did a great job. So I just think it should give them a lot of confidence, in the moving forward.
You touched on Tegan and Layla getting more Addies in down the stretch, just with the depth kind of running a little thin right now. Just how important are those moments, either for tonight and down the stretch?
Well, I just think that's what was great, tonight. I would have loved to, kind of kept our momentum in the first, but when we were playing different lineups, different ways, just to try to get us more experience in different positions. And that was done to try to get that confidence and experience. So if we get in foul trouble, right? If we're in a certain game, or if we don't have Hannah, is trying to get people, the one positive thing, even though I got to watch the film, I didn't like the second half, is that they did win. We found a way. Like we didn't win the second half, but we won. Right? It wasn't like, when we needed to buckle down, every one of them did something right. Journey did a lot of things right. Tegan did some things right. Layla did some things right. So now, if we have to go in situations where the score might be a lot closer, we can draw on a lot of those good things. And I just think, man, that's just a lot of adversity for a really young team. This was a lot of youth playing a lot of minutes. Not an excuse, it just, we haven't done that combination before. So to have that combination, be able to, handle some stress, blow it a few times, get it done enough, and still be able to have a road and get home and make that their 21st win. I'm going to try to focus on that, so they're positive going into Sunday.
I was just saying, you change the order of operations, and if it's close early and then you extend the lead, you suddenly feel a lot better.
Right.
But what is it? With a team that's young, playing with a lead. I mean, how is it that kind of a learned?
Yeah, well, I think that was the thing where it was pretty easy in the first half. Right. We were shooting threes. Taylor had a lot of threes. Ava was scoring, but we could have gone to Ava a lot more. I mean, look at her, 10 for 12, right? A double-double. I think we got to learn this group, right? The youth is like, sometimes, you're 16, 18 points. It goes down to about 14. We need to look at the high percentage shot, right? We need to really go back to that. And it doesn't mean that I don't believe in them. It just means that, okay, we want to have steadiness. So when we do that, we got to go look for a high percentage shot and a kid that's making it at a pretty good rate. And it's just experience. It's not that they don't want to. It's just like all of them have been a go-to player in high school. And so they're just kind of used to like taking whatever opening that they have. And so that's just where I think we'll get better and better. But like I said, Tegan hasn't played as much. Journey certainly hasn't played in that starting role. And, a lot of people had to carry it because Chat was just a little quiet tonight. And I know she's frustrated. She didn't nearly play the game that I know that she's capable of. So we were dependent on a lot of people other than typically it's Chat and Ava that are your consistents. So I think they did a really pretty good job, especially against a team that has absolutely nothing to lose. And they were playing, in honor of their Madison Layden, a great kid, their shooter. They changed their offense, right? They went with two bigs, and they're playing with a lot of pride. So desperate teams are tricky, and we could have and should have played better finishing it out. But overall, really, when I think about what we did and kind of how we had to handle it, because Hannah's pretty important to what we do, and it's not too far removed that McCabe's been out of the lineup. So we're just trying to get steady there. So we found a way, and I'm going to take it.
We all watched Strimlow after the Minnesota game have a late night shooting session. She obviously stays hot and has been exactly what you wanted to see, expanding her role. Just how much is her confidence continue to?
Huge, really huge. I mean, she's just, just is a nice heartbeat for the team. Plays, with the confidence, has a little bit of a swag, and certainly when she's that consistent. We continue to work on her consistency of decisions. Sometimes she we had a few too many turnovers and she's trying to see something, which I like, but it's that balance. I thought our upperclassmen, I didn't think their defense was extremely great tonight. I have to look at it. I thought, Strim, I thought we just let up too many straight line drives. And, I kind of forgive the freshmen a little bit when they forget a switch here or there. But in my mind, I just think we need to tighten up that. Certainly, we're going to be playing a pretty formidable opponent on Sunday, and that I know we need to shore up. But I thought, Strim's offensive production is certainly in that first half was really, really good.
Last thing, unfortunately, you may have 75% of your senior day honorees in street clothes.
I know.
Obviously, it'll be a typical festive Shaw scene, probably the biggest home game of the year to this point. What are kind of your thoughts heading into that one?
Yeah, I think it's that now this is a whole different approach, right? I mean, Michigan is, one of the best teams in the country. They lost to UConn by 3, lost single digits, I think, to UCLA, right? Like they're just really good, and their top 7 are as good as anybody. Kim Barnes or Rico does a great job. Those kids play really, really hard, and they play fast. So it'll be, if we can hit and they're hitting, it could be a type of shootout, but they play really doggone good defense and they play full court pressure. So we got to shore up, especially I got to get Journey confident real quick on handling that, because she's going to see that, pretty much 24/7 of that game, or the full 40. But I think, I've loved how we've responded to those games all year. I'm excited it's at home. I think it's just going to be a really fun environment, and we're going to need our 6th player. There's no doubt. Hopefully we can give Carver a lot to cheer on.